Hey, everybody. On this episode of the Nerd Day podcast, we review Deemo Memorial Keys. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of the Nerd Day podcast. I'm your host, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, and the internet's cool nerdy dad, Carlos Rodriguez, your Nerd Day. How are you? I hope everything's well. I hope your life is amazing and beautiful and all this stuff. And sorry if I sound a little congested. I have been sick for it feels like forever, and I feel like every episode I'm like, "Hey, man, we're getting better," and then the next episode or like an episode later, it's like, "No, we're not getting better. We're not at all, guys." But before we kick into the episode proper, I just want to give a shout out to my Patreons over at patreon.com/nerdaday. Link below if you want to support. Those are the awesome people that make this show happen, like Hopefully Awesome, Matt and Maggie. Love you guys so much. And don't forget, they have Going Back to Smallville, Going Back to Beast Wars, two of my favorite podcasts that you can check out on their page. Brandon, Susan, Jeff, and yeah, that's it, man. We're gonna kick right into it right now with my review of Deemo Memorial Keys. All right, want to give a special shout out to 11 Arts for providing me a screener copy of Deemo Memorial Keys. You can check them out on the link down below, and you can see the current screenings that are happening in your area and go check out the movie. Spoiler, I think you should. I recommend you check this movie out. But you can also take a grain of salt because this is a sponsored, review. But I'm gonna give my true, notes and feelings and how I feel at the moment because I literally just got done the movie. All right. Written by Junichi Fujisaku, known for Blood the Last Vampire, Real Drive, Ghost Town, Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex, and the director of Blood Plus, and Bunno Fujisawa, who is known for Mars Red, Atom the Beginning, and Valkyrie Automania. May be pronouncing that. I do apologize. The origin. Produced by Pawnee Canyon and 11 Arts, and directed by Shuhei Matsushita and Junichi Fujisaku. Story. Fall in love with the enchanting tale of Deemo, a mysterious lonely character who lives in solitude, playing the piano in a castle. One day, a girl who has lost her memory falls from the sky. One to help her recover her memories and return to her world, Deemo discovers that a tree kept atop a piano will grow whenever the piano is played. But if Deemo succeeds in helping her, will the loss of her companionship prove too much? This gentle, ethereal story of love spurned by Deemo, the girl, the mystical residence of the castle, and the tree that grows with the sound of the piano will make you want to return to this world again and again. So yeah, to kind of give my verdict of this, I literally just got done watching the screener copy. Again, thank you very much, 11 Arts, for providing that. I am very amazed about the story that I received. I will say, just to criticize a little bit of it. I'm not the biggest fan of 3D anime. I have seen it done very well. Like, for instance, right now I'm currently watching the Trigun Stampede series from Orange, Studio Orange, I believe they're called. That is amazing. That looks great. But then on the same side, Beastars, which they work on as well, it's a Netflix anime, doesn't look that great to me. But the story is kind of fun, and I do enjoy it. And if you've seen my video game reviews, you know story is king within the Nerd Day realm. So the 3D art in anime tends not to be amazing. Also, as well, a review I was supposed to be doing, and I may come in the future. I'm trying to keep myself on track. For Dragon Ball Super Superhero, that was a 3D animated movie. Of course, they have a big budget behind them. But that being said, I think it worked really well. And honestly, God, it was funny watching that movie. The worst thing that looked, or pardon me, the thing that looked the worst was Goku and Vegeta. Now, with that being said, again, as I mentioned just a moment ago, story's king within the Nerd Day realm. So this story actually lends itself pretty well. I think it was very enjoyable. As Sly over at Pip likes to say, it's a tight 90, so you're in and out pretty quickly. I think it tells a very beautiful story, and it's funny with the description from 11 Arts that I read previously, there's no mention of, like, any of the real world stuff because the movie does go back and forth with Alice, our protagonist, finding out, like you see her in the real world, opening up, finding friends, and as that's happening, Alice in this dream realm or this it could be construed to be some kind of dream realm, or it could be spoilers, not real. It could just be her brain just trying to coincide with what happened, the tragedy that has struck her that you don't know until the end of the movie. There won't be spoilers for that. You should definitely watch the movie though. Um, and those just getting together and working together, I think was a really good story context or story like beat for that. And then with that being said as well, as an American, love a film called The Page Master. I don't know if you remember this movie, if you're old like me, but Page Master is a movie with Macaulay Culkin where he's in the real world and then something happens and he gets trapped in this like book realm. And then it becomes like an animated movie there. But like, I'm a big fan of these movies where these kids are going through something and they have to go to a different world, and it kind of helps them reconcile with what's going on in the real world. A big one for me as well, similar to that, would be Pan's Labyrinth. And with that, I mean, you have this kind of beautiful story of this kid kind of like kind of going with what they think is happening and wrapping their head around life and everything like that, and with the assistance of this mystical world. This did a really good job, and the addition to the music that was provided throughout the whole film, I thought really lent itself to what was going on, and I thought it was very beautiful. Special shout out goes to at the 45-minute mark. I literally had to pause the movie, and I was like, "How long is this movie?" Because this movie has a special track that starts playing with a resident of the castle who is trying to pause Alice's like progression to leaving and going back to the real world, has a track that is like the most Final Fantasy like battle music from like more recent Final Fantasy, like 15 and things like that. I was like at 13, 15, something like that. I was so in, I was so happy. I was like jamming to it, even though it was like a kind of like sad moment in the movie. I think that's the unfortunate thing of me being a video game player and a big Final Fantasy fan, aka Chaos Bringers is coming soon. Um you like, I was taken out of the movie just for a moment, and probably a really good way though. Like, I was very happy because his music was awesome, but then at the same time I was like, oh yeah, it's also like sad for what's going on. But with that all being said, again, I think this movie was actually pretty good. I immediately, before I filmed this and stammered on in my usual back in the day reviews, I text my anime friend, Nick, who got me back into anime, and I was like, "Hey man, there's a movie you need to check out. It's got to be on your radar." And I told him about Deemo Memorial Keys. So here's the verdict. For me, Carlos Rodriguez, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, I like to give Demo a 3 out of 5. Now, yes, that means okay, but that's a good okay. I highly recommend you should go see this movie. So like seek it out any way you can. Again, there will be links down to the 11 Arts website for Demo Memorial Keys, where you can see if there's any showings in your area. Well, you can check my social media. I'll be linking them as well. And yeah, I mean, I think this is a really decent movie, and it's just a good time for me as well, getting just back into anime. Um, it was nice to take a break from the shonen adventures I've been recently watching, like One Piece or My Hero Academia, or some of the more mature titles like Trigun Stampede, to have just a kind of beautiful story of loss and finding yourself after that in Demo Memorial Keys. All right, so that's it. That's our review for Demo Memorial Keys. Thank you for, again, 11 Arts for providing the sponsored copy of that. Again, you can take it with a grain of salt, but honestly, as I mentioned just a moment ago, I do recommend you check this movie out. It's a 3 out of 5 for me. I enjoyed it, and hope you check it out. And if you do, tweet at me. If you're watching the video version, there's my Twitter. Hit me up. Let me know what you thought about it. Till then, again, I'm your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, aka Carlos Rodriguez, aka your nerd today. I'll see you in the next one.